Now, another question that I really want to grill you about. Now, what is a podcast? We have so many discussions about that. Like, what is really a podcast? How would you define it?
It's not easy to answer. We already had the short talk before, but
that's true.
For me, podcast is something different from the other audio. When you're listening to some music, it's more talking to your emotional part. I don't know.
No, that's true. You're right.
Yes. And if you are just listening radio, it's just to, how can I say, to divert a little bit yourself, to spend some time. But for me, podcast is that you want to feed your brain with that. You want to have a subject that is talking to you. We call it a lot of time niche, because you know exactly what you want to hear. You want to hear about a subject or about something. And for me, podcast is something that is not polluted by other subjects that you don't care about. I don't know, it could be a lot, but for me, it's going straight to the point and is somebody talking to you directly about the subject you want to hear.
That is so true. That is so true. I agree with you so much about this because we had so many discussions, and we always have so many discussions about that. And often what people maybe misunderstand is that if you put just a piece of audio, it was recorded by a radio station, you put it online, it's on demand, it's a podcast. No. Like I could also, to a certain point, say that this show, it's not really a podcast in some sense. It's a show. Right. We do it often. Sometimes the subject is here, sometimes the subject is there. But it is a bit niche, and that is where I think I agree with you. It's the niche. It's that I like, for example, I love a podcast called Hardcore History. And the podcast is what it is. It's hardcore. It's 4 hours diving deep. Amazing podcast. I love it. But that's the point. It would never go into a show on radio. It's too extreme. It's too much. It would never work. So I think I agree with you completely. Now, did you ever? You said you considered making a podcast. Did you ever think about this idea when you say consider it? If you would have one, how would it be?
I don't know, to be honest, because we got a lot of talk about this and different type of subjects, and the thing we wanted to do, and if I have one podcast one day, it has to be very different. I think it has to be on a specific subject, as we said before, but it has to be very different and something fresh. And that's why I still don't have my podcast, because for the moment I only have the same idea than everybody, So I want to do something different. If I want to do something, it should be very different.